from VGI Television, but back today, Emo TV. First, the headlines. Tinubu raises alarm, says federal bureaucracy slowing down his plans for Nigerians. NEC outlines initiative to ensure food security, affordability. VP Shetima pays final respect to late Akeredolu. Rep suspend NAFDAC ban on spirits, alcohol in sachets, pet bottles. Operators flee as Nigerian soldiers storm Bureau de Change centers in Hausa amid Naira depreciation. On sports, Boniface named among Bundesliga most skillful stars. I am Maurire Ravila Lawal, the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has decried the federal bureaucracy is slowing down its agenda of lifting Nigeria out of poverty. Tinubu spoke Thursday during a meeting with the head of service, the body of permanent secretaries, and some director general of agencies at the State House appealed to them to rededicate themselves to their duties and work towards improving the lives of Nigerians by quickly acting on matters that border on the welfare of citizens. A statement on Friday by the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to the President, Bayo Ononuga, quoted the President to have told the permanent secretaries that policies impacting the welfare of the people and economy must be treated with urgency, diligence, and a strong sense of duty. According to the statement, Tinubu warned that the ineffectiveness and unnecessary bureaucracy that result in the delay of interventions in the economy and programs targeting vulnerable citizens will not be tolerated. Ononuga said that the President had directed that a monthly briefing by the head of service and submission of key performance indicator KPI report should be made to his office for review. Also, quarterly interactive meetings between the President and the body of permanent secretaries will now be scheduled. The National Economic Council (NEC) has taken bold steps to ensure food security and put an end to the economic challenges confronting the nation, including making fertilizer available to farmers and establishing agro ranges to tackle insecurity on farms. According to a communique by Stanley Nkwacha, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, this decision was taken on Thursday during the 139th meeting of the Council held virtually and chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima. This comes just as the Vice President has said that with collective effort in developing a clear and actionable roadmap through short-term, medium and long-term strategies, Nigeria will overcome its economic challenges in the country. Following a presentation by the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, on food security in the country, Vice President Shettima directed a meeting of the federal government with major fertilizer producers in the country, including Indoroma, Dangote, and Notore. NEC noted that fertilizer is a major ingredient of agricultural productivity, which the government is striving to attain, and urged the state governors to embrace modern agricultural practice to increase productivity. Council also considered the establishment of agro ranges in the short term and the possible creation of state police in the long term to address security threats on farmers. Vice President Kashim Shettima led dignitaries on Friday to pay their final respect and bid farewell to the late governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. The governor, aged 67, died after a prolonged health battle. During the funeral service at St. Andrew's Church in Mola Streets, Owo, Vice President Shettima described the late Akeredolu as a remarkable soul and a dedicated individual who cared deeply about the welfare of his people. A man whose legacy is etched in the battles he fought on behalf of his people, leaving an indelible footprint to the shores of our shared history. There was no point in life where his voice shook in telling his truth, he said. Moving on to the next story. After days of protests across the country, the House of Representatives Committee on National Agency on Food, Drugs Administration and Control (NAFDAC), headed by Regina Akume, has ordered the suspension of the ban imposed by NAFDAC on the sale of spirits and alcoholic drinks in sachets and PET bottles, pending the outcome of its investigation on the matter. The House Committee made this decision known after its public hearing on NAFDAC ban on Thursday at the National Assembly Complex, where the House Committee members, including the chairperson, Regina Akume, Deputy Chairman Idu Obiajulu, Minister of State for Health Tunji Alausa, NAFDAC DG Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, DG of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria MAN, Shegun Ajayi Kadir, representative of the Food, Beverage and Tobacco Employers and Distillers and Blenders Association of Nigeria, representative of the Spirit and Alcoholic Drinks Producers, officials of the Nigeria Police Force, Custom and Excise, Federal Road Safety Corps, organized labor and civil society were present. After hearing the NAFDAC DG, who claimed that the ban was imposed to protect the health and welfare of children, youth, and other vulnerable groups, the House Committee aligned itself with the views of the producers, civil society, and organized labor that the unemployment and hardship being occasioned by the closure of factories as a result of the ban far outweigh the health concerns of NAFDAC. Moving on to the next story. Soldiers were on Friday stationed around Bureau de Change BDC offices in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital. Information observed that some of the traders abandoned their offices for fear of being arrested. As part of its ongoing clampdown on BDC, some BDC operators have been arrested in Abuja, Oyo, and Lagos following the depreciation of the naira against the United States dollars. A trader who spoke on condition of anonymity said they deserted their offices because they got wind that security authorities were on their way to arrest them, as being done in some parts of the country. Similarly, some Nigerian security operatives on Wednesday went after the Bureau de Change operators in the Sabo area of Ibadan. Sabo in Ibadan, the state capital in southwest Nigeria, is the hub of Bureau de Change in the state. The operatives included personnel of Police and Economic and Financial Crimes Commission personnel. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has launched a nationwide clampdown on persons involved in currency racketeering following the free fall of the naira. Nigeria's naira has dropped to a record low against the dollar on the official markets at 1,910 naira. And to southwest still. Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Igbo, on Friday said he came back to Nigeria by the power of God. The information reported that the freedom fighter returned to Nigeria on Thursday ahead of his mother's burial in the Shaki area of Oyo State. He alleged that Buhari sent the Department of State Services, DSS, and soldiers to assassinate him in his house. Addressing his followers in Oyo State in Yoruba language, he claimed that his agitation against Fulani herders killing of farmers in the southwest was behind the move to assassinate him. He said Buhari sent his soldiers and DSS to arrest me in my house because I said Yorubas are not slaves to Fulanis. They can't suppress us in our father's land. Fulanis can't stop our fathers and mothers from going to their farms, but I'm back with the power of God and authority, not that of man. And to the next story, in Lagos still. The Oluwole market in Oba, Lagos, witnessed a disruption of commercial activities as clashes erupted between Yoruba and Hausa communities. The clash, which began on Thursday night and escalated into Friday morning, resulted in the tragic death of a young man, further fueling tensions between the two groups. Information report that the clash reportedly started when a Yoruba man identified as Abi intervened in a quarrel between two Hausa men. In the course of the intervention, Abi was allegedly stabbed by an unidentified assailant, leading to fatal injuries. The aftermath of Abi's death triggered a reprisal attack between the Yoruba and Hausa residents in the area. The reprisal attack resulted in the destruction of property, particularly food items such as peppers, onions, and other commodities sold by Hausa traders in the Oluwole market. The clashes led to a standstill in commercial activities, causing significant disruption and concern among residents. Eyewitnesses reported a heightened police presence in the market area, with patrol vans attempting to control the situation and restore normalcy. Going to the foreign story. The lawyers of imprisoned Niger President Mohamed Bazoum called on West Africa bloc ECOWAS Friday to demand his release on the eve of the Union Summit. Niger has been ruled by military leaders since they ousted Bazoum in coup last July. Since then, he has remained locked up with his wife in the presidential palace in Niger's capital, Niamey. In December, the Court of Justice of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, ordered the release of Bazoum as well as his return to power. The court ordered the military authorities to release them immediately and to restore the power of President Bazoum, whose mandate had been democratically entrusted to him, the statement read. According to the lawyers, Bazoum has not been brought before a judge and has not received any visitors except his doctor since October 19. Finally, sports. Bayer Leverkusen star Victor Boniface has secured a nomination among the most skillful players in the ongoing 2023-2024 Bundesliga campaign so far. After his move from Union SG last July, the Super Eagles striker wasted no time making an impact under the guardians of manager Xabi Alonso. Boniface's initial burst in Germany was nothing short of impressive, netting 10 goals in 16 league matches. However, his promising run hit an outlet off due to a groin injury, forcing him to miss the 2024 Africa Cup of Nations held in Ivory Coast. The spotlight now shines on a particular display of individual brilliance during Leverkusen's clash against RB Leipzig at the Bay Arena in August 2023. In that game, Boniface executed a calling feint, deceiving his marker into anticipating a right-footed shot, only to cleverly pass the ball with his left foot. Although he didn't find the net, Leverkusen emerged victorious with a 3-2 scoreline. Boniface shares the skill spotlight with four other notable players: Adrian Kramaric, Jordan Sancho, Felix Macher, and Xavi Simons. To participate in the voting process, fans can visit the Bundesliga's official website and select their choice among the nominated players. With that sports story, we've come to the end of today's World News. Before we go, some headlines. To number 8, alarm says federal bureaucracy slowing down its plans for Nigerians. NEC outlines initiative to ensure food security, affordability. Remarkable soul, Vice President Shetima pays final respect to late Akeredolu. Reps suspend NAFDAC ban on spirit, alcoholic sachets, pets, bottles. On sport, we brought to you Boniface named among Bundesliga most skillful stars. For update of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Baba Bagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Thank you for watching. I am Moriri Rabila Lawal.